Hi, my name is Priscilla.
And I'm Anna.
And we're here today with a special guest. This is my friend Sofia.
Hi.
We've known her for years now, and she's an amazing bookworm as well. So today she will be here to help us talk about our theme, which is...
Middle grade books. We are going to talk about our experience and our favorite reads.
Exactly, and divided by categories, so you have also amazing recommendations by the end of this video.
So to begin, I want to talk about my experience with middle grade books. I started with Uma Aventura. It's a middle grade
Portuguese
series by two Portuguese authors. I think everyone in our generation read it. They were so popular they ended up being a TV series. I also read a very unknown series called Bia and Fred. There was about two siblings going on adventures and solving mysteries. And then later on, far later, thanks to Priscilla, I met Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This series talks about a hero, Percy, and his adventures with Greek and later on other mythologies. And it's more than just a book about mythology. It's a book about growing up and facing the adversities of life and the difficulties of being a kid and going through puberty and all of those very complicated things. What I really like about this series and the author itself is that he takes into consideration kids with dyslexia and
ADHD.
Thank you.
ADHD.
Because his oldest son, Haley, has both disorders. And that's how the book started. He started writing and telling the tales of Percy Jackson to his son because his son was learning about Greek mythology in school and asked his dad, that used to be a teacher, to tell him the stories about the Greek gods. And when there were no longer any more stories for him to tell, Rick Riordan decided to create the character Percy.
And I actually didn't know that. That is so interesting.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
He created that's why the character has the disorders, because he wanted his son to feel special. He wanted that his son and other children
to be included.
Exactly, to feel like they
and
didn't
to be
need
represented.
Yeah, to feel like they were an outcast and they could fit in like other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really like this series, because it does take that in consideration, and the characters are just very, very realistic. I think the girls are far more well developed than the boys. I think that's why so many girls like these books, because it's very hard and very rare to see a male writer writing good female characters, and I think he does it. I still think the female characters are far better than the male characters.
I love this series as well. It was one of my first fantasy series, and I recommended it to Sophia, but now she's more of a fan than I am. Actually, she reads everything super quickly, and I'm still catching up. But it's an amazing series.
I never read it or watched it. I know nothing about it. I actually saw like 5 minutes of the first movie or series.
Never watch those movies. Never. Please.
I watched 5 minutes.
No, they're terrible.
Just read the books.
Please
they're
don't.
far better.
Yeah, read the books.
Just far better.
I wouldn't know.
But I would kill for a good TV show of Percy Jackson.
Ooh, so would I.
That would be amazing. Netflix, if you're listening.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Sponsors.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on for our next recommendation. I would like to talk to you about Anne of the Green Gables. This is a book that I read last year, and it's amazing. It talks about, all of these follow, not Percy Jackson per se, but all of these follow the orphan being adopted or being introduced into a new world. So they all follow this storyline, so have that in consideration. But Anne is also an orphan that was also adopted and taken into, so she wasn't a country girl, but she was taken to the country to live there. So it's all her discovery of nature and how villages worked in terms of school and making new friends, and all the life of if she's going to stay with her new parents or if they don't want her anymore. So it really talks about the insecurities of a little kid, and a little kid who had nothing before and now has everything she loves. So it's really important as well. I really loved it. She's very sweet, and now there's a Netflix. I'm not sure if it's by Netflix. Yeah, no, yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, there's a TV show that's on Netflix. It's called Anne with the E.
Our video editor recommends it.
Okay. It's very cool, but it has a darker twist to the story, so have that in mind. This story is very wholesome and it will make you laugh. She talks a lot, so it can be boring because she really talks a lot, but it's always wholesome and she's very sweet, so please check it out.
The first book I'm going to mention is Heidi by Johanna Spiri, and oh my god, I loved this as a little girl, didn't you?
Yeah.
I loved it. It's about this girl who, okay, you must know what Heidi is about, but it's about a girl who goes to live in the mountains with her grandfather because she's an orphan as well.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, it's the
theme. It follows the theme, yeah.
And she goes to the countryside, to the mountains, and taking care of the goats, which is so cute. And she has this best friend named Peter. We all ship them.
Yeah, no, Peter is actually the one that takes care of the goats. Heidi literally doesn't do anything besides
she goes and
making
take a
people's
walk
life a little complicated.
I don't care, I still ship them, they're adorable.
Yeah.
And she goes take a walk
10,
with them.
so that's a bit, I mean, let's not ship 10-year-olds.
When they are older, they are going to date and get married and die together.
We ship them in the future.
Yeah. Or we ship Heidi and Clara, that's a good ship too.
Her friend Clara has disabilities and she goes take care of her, and it's so cute because like it also has like representation and inclusion, and Clara is adorable and I ship them all. It's all beautiful. I love Heidi, and you must know what Heidi is.
For my next book, I'm gonna still keep Rick Riordan as a pick because
she's going to be the representative of Rick Riordan.
I love the man. It's just the only thing I can say about him. This is the Heroes of Olympus series, the first book. This is the Lost Hero. It's the continuation to the Percy Jackson series. In this one, the author adds Roman mythology too, what makes the situation very interesting because for those who know, Greek and Roman mythology are very much similar, and they have a lot of gods that were taken from one mythology to the other, and so it makes the book very interesting, and the series is very nice to read.
Yeah. So basically, Roman people were wannabe Greeks, so they copied everything. So that's basically it. Yeah. So plagiarism didn't exist back then, but it should have, because it's a complete copy. But so you have both of them in this series, and you have new characters as well.
Yes, exactly.
Which ones do you like best in this one?
Well, the one that I like best in the beginning, Nico.
Nico
D'Angelo is the love of my life.
My baby! Gotta protect!
I know! And the reason why I chose this book is, following the line of thought of Anna, is inclusion. In this book you start having LGBT characters, well, one specifically, but I very much liked the way it was represented. It wasn't directly said at the beginning. It took a while to get there, and I think both Shil and I were very surprised when it came to me, because it was like, what?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? But it was very interesting to see, and it did explain a lot of the outcast feelings of that character and why the character wasn't always as present as others, and why the character was always hiding. So I think it was a very good representation of how people can feel outcasts because of their sexuality and because of what they are. And that's the reason why I chose this book to recommend, because this series is very good with it.
Yeah, I agree. She'll read them later.
We'll make sure of it.
Okay, so my next book is also a classic, and it's Pinocchio. Everybody that watched the Disney version and the movie version of it, actually I think there's a live action as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I never watched it.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think there's a live action too, but I don't think it's Disney, the live action.
I know there's a recent one, the AI movie. There's one movie about AI that is Pinocchio, basically. But I don't know about the other, but I know that one.
But we know the Disney version is very wholesome, and you get like happy tears, and he's cute, and everything is cute. In the original book, I can't say that it's not like that. It's actually pretty dark, and I was not expecting that for a children's book. I think they were super hardcore in these times, because, I mean, oh god, the children would have a lot of nightmares about the tales that are represented here. But it's important in terms of teaching morals and teaching kids how to behave, like distinguish between good and evil and all of that. So I I think it has good morals like don't trust strangers and
Don't
obey. What?
Don't lie.
Don't lie. Yeah. The basic one is don't lie.
I think that's the most important one.
Yeah, obviously. But actually, this only started later on. He only had like the nose curse later on. He didn't have that before. So and never trust strangers or you'll get robbed and kidnapped and a lot of other things. And obey your parents because otherwise you'll end up inside of a whale. So this is
Can't relate.
Yeah.
Been there, done there.
So this is all very dark and twisty, but also it's I mean it's an important read, but I wouldn't recommend as my favorite read because of
Or
that.
to children.
But yeah, or to children. But if it's children, just show them the Disney version maybe to begin with. And it's a recommendation as well.
My last recommendation is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. And this book is so good. I think I talked about it before. I'm not really sure. But I gave it 5 stars. It is about this boy in middle grade who has a condition and his face is deformed. So everyone looks at him sideways. And he's really insecure. He doesn't want to get out. He studies at home, but he finally has to face the reality and go to school. A public school, and it's so cute. Everything about it is cute. His dog is adorable.
Yeah.
Did you like the
true,
dog?
yeah.
The dog.
Yeah, and you
It's
also
really cute.
have a movie adaptation.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but
I
really
did.
like
It's very cute, so you should also watch it. I mean, sometimes movie adaptations aren't that good. I mean, we all know that. Like the Percy Jackson ones, please don't watch that. But this one is actually pretty cool and has great actors, and I think it's a very important read as well.
Yeah, I think the
and
book is
Sophia
really
wants to
important.
read it.
Yes, it's on my to-read list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the book is really important and has a lot of good lessons to middle grade kids that want to read it.
Yeah.
Or just adults.
Yeah.
Just read it.
Yeah, good morals for everybody. Okay, last book, Sophia.
So my last recommendation, still on Rick Riordan, is his Nordic saga about Magnus Chase. This saga completely separates from the original. While there's some characters that appear just as in cameos, it has a full new cast with a completely different story, still inside the orphan that gets exposed to a new world because, well, we have to clip the cliches.
Yeah.
Is a trope, it's not a cliche, let's not be mean.
Yeah, okay.
But once again, I like this series because it has the good things of the original, the attention to the age group and to difficulties and to all of those issues that you can face as a child. And it also has the LGBT characters, this time more expressed and more noticeable. In fact, in the second book of the saga, it just jumps at you. The character literally stops the action to be like, I'm this! And for me it was very interesting and also shocking, because I thought I knew a lot about LGBT, and then all of a sudden the character appears and is like, I need a dictionary. I don't know what you are. I don't want to offend you. So it made me look for new stuff and to try and understand it better. And it made me grow as a person. So I think this is a very good series for that.
Yeah, and he also made a very good, I'm gonna say good expose about how to treat people with the different pronouns and different preferences of treatment. So that is actually very good because it's teaching children from young ages to have this type of behavior starting early and then moving on like in their adult years and treating people as they should be treated.
Yeah, it starts early to teaching you respect for other people.
Respect, tolerance,
understanding.
and love. I mean, it's the perfect message, and I was also very happy with it. It's very good. And as a side note, Rick Riordan also has an Egyptian mythology series.
True.
Yeah, Kane Chronicles.
It's middle grade too?
It's middle grade too.
Everything. He's basically...
Yeah, and it's amazing too. And you have POC lead characters, which is also great. POC people of color. And everything is amazing there too. So please check that one out as well. And I think that's it. So it was a pleasure for us to have Sophia join us in this video.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. Stop it. Okay.
Sheila is our diva. Hey, don't forget to follow us on our social media down below. Give us a like. Please leave comments and suggestions as well.
And subscribe to our channel. We are always looking for new subscribers. That's
Please.
you. So that's it for this week. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Marita a fazer pastel.
Tipo, ele tem uma doença.
Por acaso, quero... Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It was
nice.
a pleasure for Sophia to join us in this video.
It was a pleasure.
But it was.
Yeah.
For